Right, so we're here at River Road, our Fremont Wolf River project, and we're laying the pavers. Typically when you lay, a patio, you want to have, for every 10 feet of run, you want to have an inch of drop. So if you're running out 10 feet, you want to drop at least an inch to make sure you have runoff. So when you can get nice and close on this. So when we're putting a level on it, when we get the level so the bubble is just touching the edge of that inside line, can you get that? All right, so that is going to give us about a 1-inch drop on a 10-foot run. So this patio has a couple different things that we're working with and against. So right under here, directly under the awning here is, or the cover is going to be perfectly flat. And then once we hit here, where there's rain coming down, we want to make sure we have that slope. So from this point, it's going to run towards the lawn here. So it's going to slope, it's going to drop down as it slopes this way. But we also want to keep things as level as possible, or have the pavers be as level as possible by the concrete. Now the concrete should be sloped as well, so that's not always the case though. So when we drop our level on the concrete here, this concrete happens to be pretty flat. So actually that's not too bad here. Okay, so but it's not great. So if you look at this, this is a good indication of what we're shooting for. So right here, see how that bubble is, it's not touching either of the lines, happens to run that way a touch, but it's not great. We want to have it be right about there. So we want a little bit more pitch typically to get water runoff. So what we're going to do here, because we don't want to have a lip of paver sticking up either way, we don't want to create any tripping hazards. So we're going to create, the pavers are going to be pretty flush here, but then it's going to slope this way towards, kind of towards the middle of the yard. So on this particular space, this way, and then it's going to run that way. So everything's going to kind of come this way in order to match the slope of the concrete and the existing lawn here. Then back here, everything from, so we have a roof that's covered up to this point, so everything up to that point is going to be flat. Once we get to that point, we want everything to slope this way. But because we don't want all that water, if we just had that slope run this way, all that water is going to run down the stairs, over this patio. If that was our only option, that would be okay. That's not ideal, but it would still be okay. But because we have other options, what we're going to do is have everything run this way, and right about here is going to be our low point. And then from here, we're going to have everything slope this way. So we're going to basically create a little bit of a swale. You're not going to really notice it because it's going to still be the same pitch as the rest of the patio, but it's going to run this way, and then it's going to run that way. So once everything runs out, all the water is going to run down this way. So it's going to be kind of a nice little swale coming right down the patio to right here, because once we are at this level, then it can run right down to the river, and there won't be any water standing on the patio. So to do that, what we do is use pipe to set grade. So right here, Brandon is dropping a couple loads or a couple shovelfuls of screenings on the pipes, and he's going to lift those up to set the correct grade. So using pavers, because we want our paver level to be actually probably just below that. We're actually going to go lower. We're going to go right under the lip so we can slide it right under.
Oh, you want it under?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're going to work the pipe here until everything is set to the correct grade. And then we're going to fill in this area between these two pipes, and then take a level or a screed pipe and drag the screenings flush so they're nice and flat once the grade is set on the pipe. That way it gives us a nice level working surface here, and then a nice slope surface there, because this gives us the ability to, if we want to add slope or take slope away, we can lift this up and change the slope. So right now it's perfectly flat, so we can lift this up a little bit, add some screenings onto it, and now the grade has changed and everything slopes that way. So that's going to give us the ability to adjust our slope and fine-tune everything before we start laying pavers. So stay tuned and see how it goes.